Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Wild, Laura in the Backyard, I took you outside with me because it is a beautiful day and I have been dying to share this recipe with you that I have teased you on our last Tasty Thursday. That was on a Friday. And I'm dying to share with you these delicious skewers, these chicken kebabs that we're gonna serve in pitas with like a lovely chopped veg situation and in a delicious garlicky tahini sauce. It's just dynamite. So let me get you started. I've got some ground chicken in here. To it, I'm gonna add some parsley. This is parsley from, I don't know if you can see the herb boxes behind me, but the parsley and the cilantro are doing pretty phenomenal at the moment. So I wanna get a good amount of parsley. It is slightly windy, so if you see parsley flying all over the place, you know, mind your business. It is quite windy, but then again, it always is. I always joke that we live in a wind tunnel, but it is what it is, right? If I waited for everything to be perfect, I would never shoot out here for you. And that just kind of feels unfair. So adding the parsley to the ground chicken, I want some grated onion. So I'm just taking a half of an onion, just gonna take that top off and leave the base here so that it holds everything intact. I'm going to use a box grater. What you could also do is just take the parsley, onion, and garlic, pop it in a mini food chopper, and call it a day. But I'm actually just gonna do one of these and just grate it straight in here, straight in there. Once the onion is in, I'm just grating my garlic. This was a really big fat clove of garlic, so I'm just gonna do one, because remember, when you grate it, it just gets so much stronger. So I'm just gonna do one. And then I'm gonna season it really well with some salt. And then in terms of spices, we are gonna do some cumin. Not too much. Cumin can be quite assertive. A little ground coriander. A little smoked paprika, which I love. A little onion. A little bit of garlic. Oh! It'll eventually get in there too, don't worry. And then you're gonna need to add breadcrumb, a bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon. It's nice to add a little olive oil because it keeps the chicken really nice and moist. And then one egg. And you're gonna go ahead and come in here with your hands and you're just gonna give everything a good mix. And now something you need to do is you need to mix this really well and then cover. Those are just our blinds, and let it sit in the fridge for about an hour. That looks great. Now, this has been sitting in my fridge for about an hour, so you want to keep it in there for quite a bit. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have a bowl with water close to me. If you're doing this in your regular kitchen, you can just form these next to your sink so you can periodically wet your hands, because ground chicken can be quite sticky. Then I take my skewers. I love working with metal skewers for a multitude of reasons. One, they're reusable, so that's nice. But two, metal, when it heats up, it sort of heats up from the inside, so it actually does cook your item, whatever it might be, more evenly. So what I like to do is I like to take my skewers and I just like to just drizzle a tiny bit of oil on them. I don't know why. My mother always did this when it came to any kinds of kebabs, so I do. And then wet your hands. I'm gonna sort of divide this into 5 pieces, and then you're gonna just take your mixture, and as evenly as you can manage, you're going to roll it around your skewer like that. You can do 4, you can do 6, you can make them smaller, you can make them larger. You do you, but they work out so well every single time. They're so delicious and easy. Everybody loves them, and they are so flavorful. And we are going to put them, like I said, in pitas with like a quick little veg salad, like cucumber minty salad, and then a really yummy yogurt tahini sauce, and they're delicious. And oh, my wire is stuck. These are also really phenomenal served with garlic fries. I just take literally frozen French fries, pop them into the oven, bake them as directed, and then toss them with some fresh garlic and some salt and pepper and some Parmesan cheese, and throw those in there too. So good, but not super necessary, but they are delicious if you do it that way. I'm just gonna continue to form them. Just gonna pop these on, and they'll take about 5 minutes or so per side. And then we're gonna let them rest while we make our toppings. They look magnificent. Look at that. How beautiful. They just need about 5 or so more minutes on the other side, and then we let them rest. But in the meantime, let's make our sauce and our salad. Okay, we are gonna make our tahini, lemony, yogurt, garlic sauce that is so good. In here, I've got some tahini. To the tahini, I'm gonna go ahead and grate some garlic. 1 or 2 cloves. I mean, it's really up to you. I'm gonna do 1 because it's pretty, like I said, when you grate it, it gets just super strong. Now, I wanna warn you that when you start mixing your tahini with the lemon and the garlic, it's gonna seize up on you and you're gonna think something went horribly wrong. Watch. And I wanna keep you here for this because this is so normal. Watch what happens. It's gonna start seizing up. It's gonna start getting all like grainy. You see that? And it's not the consistency that we want. It's not pourable. It's not good. So here's what we do. We're gonna add a little bit of ice water at a time until this loosens up. And it will happen. It'll get worse before it gets better, but I'm gonna keep you here with me because I think sometimes the only way to learn is to see it. And then you get over the fear because sometimes, especially with things like this, if you don't see it, if you don't see the transformation, which is starting to take place, look, it's turning into a light beige color. It's starting to take place. If you don't see it, you'll get to this point and you think you've done something horribly wrong, and then you blame me, and then you're like, oh, goodness gracious, her recipe was awful. It didn't work for me whatsoever. But you really just need to give it some time and just need to have some patience. You see how it's starting to turn? It's beautiful. It's creamy a little bit more. You may need more water. You may need less water, but you're gonna wanna keep about a 1/4 cup of water handy until it looks a little something like this, which is now beautiful and creamy and delicious. It does need a good pinch or 2 of salt. Beautiful. And you could leave it like this. It's delicious. But I am gonna add some Greek yogurt. Plain. This is not the time and place for your vanilla or your flavored yogurt. You want it plain. I think it's nice because it sort of cuts that very slight bitterness that tahini can have. But it's also nice because it just becomes like more of a thick sauce rather than just like a light drizzle, if you will. And it's delicious. It's really garlicky. I tasted it already. It's perfect. It's good to go. My sister loves this so much. The sauce, she goes crazy for it. I don't really know why, but you know what? We're not going to question things. It is what it is. And then I'm just going to top this with a little za'atar because I think it makes pretty much everything better. Delicious. A little drizzle of olive oil. And this can just set aside while we work on dicing up some veg. I'm going to very finely chop a seedless cucumber. I'm going to dice some tomatoes. I'm gonna wash this first. And some red onion. I'm gonna throw it all into a bowl. I'm just gonna grab my skewers first because they've been on that grill. So I'm gonna go do that first. Parsley and mint, finely chop into the bowl with the cucumber, onion, tomato, your usual suspects, you know how I do. And then you're gonna need a little drizzle of olive oil. You need a pinch of salt and a bit of lemon, you know, a little bit of lemon. And this is so good. You've got the spiced, you know, of the kebab. You've got that sort of creaminess of the sauce, and you need something bright. And that's where this little mixture comes in. Now that we have pretty much everything together, I'm gonna go grab my pitas that I just threw on the grill really quickly, and then we're gonna build our, I guess it's like our pita sandwich? What would you call it? Or is it just pita? We're gonna build it. This is the pita I love to use in my grocery store. It's like called Greek style pita. It's pocketless pita, and that's what I love. I love to do something like that. Then you take your sauce. I just go down like that. And then you take this gorgeousness down there, so like that. And look how gorgeous. Now this is really hot. You're gonna have to give me a minute because the pita is really hot. It was literally on the grill, but how good. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Literally, best, best, best. If there's a fly around me, we are in their household, okay? Nothing I can do about it. But trust and guarantee, this right here is all dreams are made of. Go to LauraInTheKitchen.com with the written recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I hope that you make this because it's gonna be your go-to dinner, especially if you've got friends over. How fun is this? So easy, so simple. Throw it all out on a big platter, some chunky feta, some olives, just an absolute delight. I will see you in the next one. Bye.